Oily Hair is a 1952 Warner Brothers cartoon directed by Robert McKimson and written by Ted Pierce, and we have Mel Blanc voicing Bugs Bunny. And I didn't mind this one, I didn't love it, but there were some bits of animation that I thought were pretty incredible. Maybe incredible's a stretch, but certainly I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Um, this is set in Texas, and this oil man is trying to get Bugs to give up his rabbit hole because he wants to obviously look for oil there, and Bugs is not having any of it. So what follows is this Texan trying to convince Bugs or persuade him through perhaps violent means, and Bugs is giving as good as he gets and doing everything he can to get one over on him and keep his rabbit hole. I won't say what happens. I'd say it's relatively predictable. Another character was brought in at one point that I think didn't really add very much to it, but also didn't kind of detract from what was happening either, so I guess it's not too much of a big deal. The narrative's pretty predictable, relatively interesting, nothing overly fascinating. I didn't find it that funny, I didn't think any of the dialogue was particularly interesting either, but as I said, there were bits of animation that I enjoyed, namely what happens when there's a cascade of carrots. I can't say more than that without spoiling it, but there is at one point a cascade of carrots, and when we look at it from a distance, it just looks like a waterfall of green and orange, and it actually looks pretty wonderful, and I really enjoyed that a lot. It's a very brief moment, but that stood out to me as being pretty great. I didn't mind it. I didn't love it. It's never going to be my favourite. I'm probably never going to watch it again, at least not in a hurry. Maybe one day I'll watch all the Bugs Bunny cartoons again chronologically. At the moment, I'm just watching them. I'm watching them in order of how highly they're rated on IMDb, on Letterboxd rather. For reference, on IMDb, it's 7.3 out of 10 across 670 reviews and ratings. That's definitely a higher rating than I would give it, but at the same time, I'm not completely opposed to that rating. There was nothing about it that I thought was specifically bad or should have been done differently. It just isn't ever going to be my favourite. Nevertheless, if you're a fan of Bugs Bunny, I'd say Oily Hair is worth watching at least once.